All right, we'll call the Russellville City Council meeting for Thursday, February 16th, 2023, 6 p.m. to order. I would like to invite Mr. John Sargent from Covenant Presbyterian Church to come give the invocation.
Let us go to the Lord in prayer. Our most holy, wise, and majestic God, creator of all things and Father of our Lord and King, and Father to all who find their refuge in him, hear our prayer. Impress upon us the gravity of our calling that we have been given, a charge to maintain civil order and to administrate the assets of your people. Help us to promote harmony and to establish and preserve an honorable way of life in the way that we act, in the way that we speak. For all the people that we have been given charge to help and to administrate their affairs, all those who live in this place, they are made in your image. So this is a solemn charge. Father, give us help by your Holy Spirit, wisdom. Remind us to be humble, lest we be humbled. Help us to keep one another accountable. And above all, help us to maintain unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace, seeking to bear one another's burdens and to serve one another in love. We pray these things tonight in Jesus' name. Amen.
Please stand and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. All right, Ms. Lamberson, can you give us a roll call?
Mr. George? Here. Mr. Harris? Here. Ms. Young? Here. Mr. Olson? Here. Mr. Bradley?
Here.
Mr. Westcott?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gray?
Here.
Mr. Keller?
Here.
Mayor Fred Teague?
Here.
Trey Smith?
Aye.
And Kelly Lamberson in for Gina Skelting. We have a quorum.
Have all of you had a chance to look at the minutes to approve from January 3rd, 2023?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. At this time, if Ms. Robin Johnson can come give a financial report.
This is the financial report for January 2023. January revenues for the general fund were $1,302,510, which was 11% below budget. This is primarily caused because January franchise fees were received in early February. Tax receipts were $1,049,917, and franchise fees and permits were $85,496. If you look at a tax revenue comparison, year-to-date it's not real helpful right now because we're in the first month. But in 2023, we received $465,296 for the city, compared to 2022, which was $460,389. At the county level, we received $527,869, compared to the prior year, where we received $535,934. So there's an increase over prior year for city of 1%, but there's a decrease in county of 1.5%. And if you look at city and county actual to budget analysis, the city is below budget by 3% and county is below budget by 1%. January expenditures for the general fund were $1,552,942. This is comprised of personnel-related expenditures of $981,050, utilities and other $571,892, and this is 9% above budget. Street fund revenues for January were $1,073,434. This is comprised of new sales tax of $651,414, state turnback and ad valorem tax $194,496, half-cent road sales tax of $71,850, interest of $144,176. Signal light reimbursement was $4,993. Insurance reimbursement was $3,101. Street cutting permits were $2,400, and other was $1,004. Street operating revenue is 38% above year-to-date projections. Street fund expenditures for January operations was $182,337, with personnel-related expenses $137,471, and utilities and other of $44,865. In the half-cent sales tax, we spent $4,342 on schoolhouse trails, and for sales tax, we spent $142,802. That's for Phase 2 sidewalk maintenance, downtown streetscape, East 22nd Street drainage, 2nd and Reno drainage, and Knoxville Avenue property acquisition. Now, there's a special item that happened in January that there was from the carryover of the general fund, there was a balance transfer to the street sales tax fund in the amount of $5,765,755 to fund part of the downtown streetscape project. We just didn't include it in the numbers. The Economic Development Fund January revenues were $113,319, which is comprised of new sales tax of $93,059 and interest of $20,254. There were no expenditures in January. The balance of the various economic development funds as of January 31st, the 2003 fund is $2,329,857.84. The 2007 fund was $1,047,107.79. The 2014 fund was $235,418.09. The 2021 fund is $1,626,994. And with the total of all the economic development funds is $5,239,378.05. January revenues for capital assets was $1,783 for interest. January expenditures were $18,350, where we installed a generator at the animal control, and we paid that final bill was $13,900, and Hickey Pool renovation costs of $4,450. The 2021 1-cent sales tax inception to date, receipts spent and balance data is here. For the street fund, we have the balance of funds is $10,850,823. The capital is $1,612,286. The parks is $2,061,752, and the economic development capital is $1,527,766. Are there any questions? Thank you.
No, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Johnson. All right, moving on to the mayor's report. Item 1 is consideration of an appointment to the Russellville Historic District Commission. Kelly Houston Jones, unanimously recommended by the Russellville Historic District Commission.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the appointment passes. I want to add item 2 here to update the council. We have hired an accounting clerk and admin for the position that you guys approved last month. So I feel like we've got a really good hire there that will be coming in and helping here at City Hall. And we hope to make a formal offer tomorrow for the grant writer or grant administrator position. Any questions on either of those? No, I think
We have already hired somebody?
we have hired, we've made the offer, and they will be starting on March 6th for the accounting clerk admin, and we hope to make a formal offer for the grant administrator position tomorrow, and they will probably start somewhere, maybe it'll be the 1st of March. They'll have to give their present employer time to replace them. So feel really good about both of those. Now, I'm going to go to Mr. Jason Duval for our airport departmental report.
Good evening. As the new airport director, I'm not sure of the level of knowledge that each of you have about your airport, so I wanted to kind of give you just a real quick history and a few of the details about our capabilities. The airport was established at its current location in 1960 and has been in service there ever since. We cover approximately 300 acres. The exact number is 307, I believe. The runway length is approximately 5,400 feet, so we have the capability of receiving most of the corporate jets that you'll find associated with some of the future business enterprises that we hope for the city. We have 21 hangars, and we house a little over 60 aircraft on a daily basis or permanent basis there. Since my predecessor briefed you in 2022, we've completed one hangar project. It's Hangar 14 East. It's a new T-hangar building that houses 6 different aircraft in it on a full-time basis. It was completed in August of 22, and it's been full since the day it opened. So we don't have any problems keeping those things filled, and we actually have a waiting list for aircraft that are waiting to go into hangars in the future if we can produce them. The FAA gives us guidance annually that we should try to achieve self-sustainability based on the sales and the leases of our hangars. And for the first time in 2022, we were able to accomplish that, and I think that's over about the last 15 years. That's the first time we accomplished it. We're looking to continue that trend this year as well, and hoping for growth throughout the airport. We do have 2 projects going on this year. The first one is FAA funded. We will be redoing all of the runway and taxiway markings out there. And then the second project that we're looking at for this year is also FAA funded, but it is a redesign and re-engineering the ramp space that we use for parking transient aircraft on a daily basis. And so those will be designed this year, and the construction is scheduled for FY24. And we are scheduling that for after the eclipse. All construction start after, because we're going to need our full capabilities, I think, with a projection of 125 to 150 transient aircraft during that period, 3 to 5 day period. So we are data mining the information for any individuals that are coming in. We're taking reservations currently. We've had about 10 so far, and so we're getting their information. We'll be able to pass that on to the other directorates and to the Chamber of Commerce as well. And then the last thing I wanted to cover is that, safety is a priority for us, and we're working on improving the safety of the airport to reduce the liability on the city, of course, and the security as well. And just our focus this month has been just general cleanliness and housekeeping around the facilities, trying to improve the image that people that are coming into the city's first impression of what they see when they land at the airport. And I want to welcome each of you to come out to the airport, and if you have time and take a tour, I'd be glad to spend 15 minutes to 2 hours or however long you would like talking about what's going on at the airport and some of the challenges and the goals that we have, and just give us a call and we'll be glad to set that up. Sir?
Anyone have any questions for Mr. Duval?
You said you are kind of holding off things because you want to be prepared for the eclipse, and you're expecting 125 to 150 planes.
Yes, sir.
That blows my mind. That's exciting. How did you come up with that number?
That's a number that has been presented to me from other entities, sir, and I know the city's doing some research and talking to cities that have had the eclipse go over them in the recent past. Right now, we're looking at about a 3-hour window that we're anticipating partial to a full eclipse during that one 24-hour period. And 125 to 150 truthfully is about all we can handle. We're going to use, we're going to do a lot of graphing and diagramming and overlaying to try to nest the aircraft. And the other thing we're looking at is who's coming first and who's staying last, because that will dictate where we put the aircraft and how we store them.
Thank you. That's very awesome.
I will say that I was confident in my hire and Mayor Harris's hire with Mr. Duvall, but as I've sat and visited with him, I am like, wow, we did a good job, because he's really doing a great job, and he is working hard to get ahead of the eclipse for us, and just doing a really good job communicating. And I'm his focus on safety and doing the things that we need to do to be truly an amazing front door for economic development. I do appreciate you. Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Gray, do you have anything from the Personnel Committee?
No report, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Westcott, I will yield the floor to you for your Finance Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. Beginning with the two items from our meeting this evening. Item number 1 is an appropriation request from the new Economic Development Fund, the sum of $54,955 to be used to fund our portion of the feasibility study for the Whitewater Park. And we present item number 1 as a motion to adopt.
I need a second on that. Or no? All those in favor, say aye.
Any
Aye.
discussion?
Oh, any discussion? I'm sorry about that, Mr. Westcott. Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Same ayes. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 2 is consideration of a resolution that would authorize a memorandum of agreement between the City of Russellville and the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission for the installation of a 20-foot wide by 50-foot wide fishing pier at Pleasant View Park. We present item number 2 as a motion to adopt.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
From the normal agenda, item number 1 is consideration of a resolution that would express the willingness of the City of Russellville to utilize state aid street monies for the Russellville East Parkway Overlay Project. This item being forwarded to the council with no recommendation at that time, we present this as a motion to discuss.
Any discussion?
Yes, there is. We have received the paperwork since then, and it is in the packets for everyone. That being said, I move to adopt item number 2. Or item number 1, rather, I'm sorry. Ahead of myself.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 2 is consideration of a resolution that would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to execute an amendment to an agreement with the Boys and Girls Club. This item was also referred from the Finance Committee with no recommendation. However, there being no current agreement for this amendment to apply to, I move that we refer this item back to the Finance Committee.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Do we have discussion?
Oh, I'm sorry, discussion.
I'm kind of curious as to what you mean when you say we have no current agreement. Did we not pass an agreement at the end of last year during the budgeting process for this upcoming year with the Boys and Girls Club?
We did include that in the budget. However, we do not have a current contract or a current agreement for the year 2023. So we can't amend an agreement that we don't quite have. And it turns out we can't do a change this to a memorandum of understanding because all the details of that are different. We don't yet have the agreement for which we would have that understanding. So for right now, it's cleaner, easier to forward this or move this back to the finance so that we can get our paperwork together and then present it back to you guys.
Mr. Westcott, just so I understand, so we'll take the existing proposal, push it back to the Finance Committee, and then next month approach it with a clean slate?
Well, what is before us tonight is an amendment to an agreement. But
Right.
we don't have an agreement yet to amend. So we need to refer this back to finance so that we can come up with an agreement in which case there would be no amendment necessary. You just write the agreement the way it needs to be on the
Right.
front end.
So who's writing that agreement? Is that going to be finance or is the Boys and Girls Club going to be working with them to do this? Who's going to do this? I've got it. It's written.
Okay.
It's written back in December. Why it didn't get on, I don't know.
Okay, Mr. Smith says he has it, he does have it written, it just did not get on the agenda in December, so we can bring that to the Finance Committee.
Yes, I guess you want it as proposed
Oh,
amended?
okay, or-
As the original, which was 70,000, I guess, or I can do both.
Would you? Oh, please.
Both,
Please.
okay, bring both.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Any more discussion?
So is just to make sure I'm understanding, is the agreement that we're going to talk about next week, is it going to be in form of an ordinance, or is that also going to be a resolution?
It's a resolution.
Okay,
that will
it's a
authorize
resolution.
the mayor and city clerk to
Okay.
sign an agreement.
I just wanted to make sure we weren't going to get into having to have 3 readings and then them not be able to submit their reimbursement for the first quarter of the year and whatnot. Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for clarifying that, Mr. Keller. Any other discussion? We had a motion and a second. All in favor? of
Aye.
moving it? Any opposed? All right, the motion to move this back to the Finance Committee will pass.
Item number 3 is consideration of a resolution that would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer with the Friends of the Lattimore Tourist House to submit the HPRG Option 2 grant application with the Arkansas Historic Preservation Program and approving the Friends of the Lattimore Tourist Home, Inc. application. And we present item number 3 as a motion to adopt.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 4 is an appropriation request from the City General Fund 2022 year-end carryover balance, the sum of $9,217.54 to be used to fund the workers' compensation expense budget shortfall in various departments. And we present item number 4 as a motion to adopt.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 5 is an appropriation request from the City General Fund 2021 year-end carryover balance, the sum of $31,972.20 to be used to fund the June 1st, 2023 stipend for the street fund employees, their salaries. And we present item number 5 as a motion to adopt.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 6 likewise is an appropriation request from the City General Fund 2022 year-end carryover balance, the sum of $219,163.25 to be used to fund the June 1st, 2023 stipend for the general fund departments, their salaries, and what have you. And we present item number 6 as a motion to adopt.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 7 is an appropriation request from the City Street Fund Reserve, the sum of $8,094.26. This is a pass-through for reimbursement for a school zone flasher repair of a traffic light. We present item number 7 as a motion to adopt.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 8 is consideration for reimbursement from the General Fund 2022 carryover balance, the amount of $10,000 for the fourth quarter expenses for the Boys and Girls Club in accordance with the 2022 contract. And we present item number 8 as a motion to adopt.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Items 9 through 14 will also include a public hearing portion. Item number 9 is consideration of a resolution that would approve the amount of lien to be certified to the Pope County Tax Collector against certain property located at 932 West 3rd Street. Before the motion, I would like to open the public hearing. Anyone to speak to this item? Is anyone from the public? Hearing none, I declare the public hearing closed, and we present item number 9 as a motion to adopt.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 10 is consideration of a resolution that would approve the amount of lien to be certified to the Pope County Tax Collector against property located at 407 South Independence Avenue. Before this motion, I declare the public hearing open. Is there anyone from the public to speak on item number 10? Hearing none, I declare the public hearing closed, and we present item number 10 as a motion to adopt.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 11 is consideration of a resolution that would approve the amount of lien to be certified to the Pope County Tax Collector against property located at 901 East G Street. Declare the public hearing open for item number 11. Is there anyone from the public? Hearing none, I declare the public hearing closed, and we present item number 11 as a motion to adopt.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 12 is consideration of a resolution that would approve the amount of lien to be certified to the Pope County Tax Collector against property located at 415 North Knoxville Avenue. I declare the public hearing open for item number 12. Anyone wishing to speak on item number 12? Hearing none, I declare the public hearing closed, and we present item number 12 as a motion to adopt.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 13 is consideration of a resolution that would approve the amount of lien to be certified to the Pope County Tax Collector against property located at 215 East Circle Drive. I declare the public hearing open for item number 13. Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak? Hearing none, I declare the public hearing closed, and we present item number 13 as a motion to adopt.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 14 is consideration of a resolution that would approve the amount of lien to be certified to the Pope County Tax Collector against property located at 604 East Gum Street. I declare the public hearing open. Is there anyone from the public to speak on item number 14? Hearing none, I declare the public hearing closed, and we present item number 14 as a motion to adopt.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, that being the last of our agenda, I yield the floor back to you.
Thank you, Chairman Westcott. We will move on to unfinished old business. Item 1 is a consideration of an ordinance repealing ordinance number 1918, the banning of specific breeds of dogs within city limits and other purposes. This is for the second of 3 readings.
Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the second and final time by title with a short explanation.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
So we're going to do, this is the final reading of it?
Yes, we have a motion for the second to suspend the rules and have the second and final reading.
Okay, just want to clarify that.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Roll call on that. So, yeah, just start with Mr. George. Mr. George, yeah, just go down.
Mr. George?
Yes.
Mr. Harris? No. Ms. Young? Yes. Mr. Olson? Yes. Mr. Bradley?
Yes.
Mr. Westcott?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gray?
No.
Mr. Keller?
Yes.
So motion will pass. Yeah, that'll be 6-4 and 2 against.
An ordinance repealing ordinance
Oh, you
number.
gotta, that's just to read it, I'm sorry, yes.
Ordinance number 1918, the ban of specific breeds of dogs within the city limits for the matters pertaining thereto. This ordinance, if passed, would repeal ordinance number 1819, which placed into the code and would also repeal within the code the ban of pit bulls that is currently in the animal control code.
All right, so
Motion to adopt?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Same 2 noes would be Mr. Gray and Mr. Harris, am I correct? Okay. We don't have to do a whole roll call, do we? Or should we? Should go ahead and do a full roll call just in case.
Mr. Westcott?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gray?
No.
Mr. Keller?
Yes.
Mr. George?
Yes.
Mr. Harris? No. Ms. Young? Yes. Mr. Olson? Yes. Mr. Bradley?
Yes.
All right, motion carries 6-4 and 2 against. All right, on to new business. Consideration of an ordinance establishing certain aesthetic corridors in the downtown area of Russellville, Arkansas, prohibiting the installation of above-ground utility lines, telecommunications lines, supporting poles along such corridors, providing emergency temporary installations, declaring an emergency, and for other purposes. This is sponsored by Public Works. This is, I believe there is a consideration in this ordinance they have asked for the emergency clause to be enacted. We do have Don Arbach, our construction manager, and Jason Carter, our utilities attorney here, if you guys would like to discuss that with them.
Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read one time only by title with a short explanation.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
An ordinance establishing certain aesthetic corridors in the downtown area of Russellville, Arkansas, prohibiting the installation of above-ground utility lines, telecommunications lines, and supporting poles along such corridors, providing for emergency temporary installations, declaring an emergency, and for other purposes. This ordinance, if passed, would establish certain aesthetic corridors in the downtown area, which is further described with the attachments and map, and within those corridors that would prohibit the installation of above-ground utilities and telecommunication lines, would provide for temporary lines, and would set out a penalty if such corridors are violated by laying such utility lines or telecommunication lines above ground after passage of this ordinance.
Motion to adopt?
Any discussion?
Yes, this is all regarding the dig project.
Yes, sir.
Correct? And so can we get some sort of description as to why we have to do this? Because I feel like that's important, because we're not just up here, like that project's already started. I know why, but we have general concerns in the community. People may be watching this online. Like, this is the reason why we have to do this.
Mr. Carter, if you would approach the microphone and please tell us who you are. And
Thank you. Mayor, members of council, my name is Jason Carter. I'm a municipal attorney specializing in telecommunications and electric utilities. That's kind of what I do. I think that's a great question to announce to the public, like what is the purpose behind this ordinance? Obviously, we're trying to improve the aesthetics downtown with undergrounding. There's a cost that's associated with that, with having poles removed and wires relocated underground. If more poles are put above ground afterwards, that would thwart the purpose of the entire project to begin with. So that's why we've asked to go ahead and let's prohibit those new poles from being put in so that we don't have to incur additional costs afterwards to try to remove those and protect that new aesthetic standard, that great standard that we're looking forward to in the downtown area.
Anyone have questions for Mr. Carter? Thank you, sir, for coming in tonight.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Newman, you are good with all this? This meets everything that you had asked for?
Okay, so we had do we have a motion and a second on that? Yeah. We had a motion and a second on that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, the emergency just being talked about here, and as reflected in Section 13 of this ordinance, I move that we enact the emergency clause.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor of enacting an emergency clause?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this motion will pass with the emergency clause enacted. All right, so item 2 is consideration of an ordinance to establish a permanent entertainment district in downtown Russellville, Arkansas, describing the geographical location for said district, incorporating all maps of said district by reference, providing regulations for said district, defining certain terms within the ordinance, prescribing a penalty, and for other purposes.
Mayor, recognizing that this was sponsored on paper by Nathan George, but certainly supported by most of us here, I move that we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read the first of 3 readings by title only with a short explanation.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
An ordinance to establish a permanent entertainment district in downtown Russellville, Arkansas, describing the geographical location for said district, incorporating all maps of said district by reference, providing regulations for said district, defining certain terms within the ordinance, prescribing a penalty, and for other purposes. This ordinance, if passed, would set out definitions to be used for this ordinance and would set out the geographical location within the ordinance and also by the associated and attached maps, exhibits A, B, and C. It would also prescribe regulations for the downtown district once enacted and would set out a penalty should any of those regulations not be followed, and would set out a logo for use of containers to be used within the entertainment district.
Item 3 is a consideration of resolution supporting the application for a raise grant with United States Department of Transportation for the city of Russellville, Arkansas, to construct a system of trails within the city and for other purposes.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this meeting is adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
Sorry for jumping the gun. I'll get there. I'm still on that learning curve, man. Still on that learning curve. I'll get there.